What's up, everybody? It's Punk Rock Talk, episode 22. How's everybody doing out there? Today, my guests are the Broken Cuffs. You're listening to the Broken Cuffs. This song is called Police Brutality. It's on our Spotify playlist, Rebellion Noise 2022. You can find that playlist on the Havoc Spotify page. All you got to do is search for the Havoc on Spotify. Go to our page and scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see playlists there and Rebellion Noise 2022. All you got to do is just tap that and you'll see the full playlist. We update it every Monday. So there's going to be bands on there that maybe you haven't heard of yet. Or maybe there's some songs on there that you just haven't listened to in a while and you might hear an old favorite. Have you missed an episode of Punk Rock Talk? Not to worry. They are all on the Havoc's YouTube channel. If you go to our YouTube channel and click the subscribe button and the bell icon, you'll be notified every time we upload new content there. And not just episodes of Punk Rock Talk. We are working on more new content for our YouTube channel, so you want to subscribe. The latest episodes of Punk Rock Talk are uploaded to our YouTube channel every Thursday. So today's episode will be uploaded tomorrow. If you have been watching regularly, you know that about a month ago, I made an announcement that I was launching Rebellion Noise Records. You can find that here on Instagram. The handle is at rebellion_noise_records. And I have a surprise for you guys. This is coming very soon. I wasn't lying when I said that I wanted to put out a compilation inspired by this. If you guys remember these punkcore samplers. This compilation has got 15 tracks by some badass bands, all of which will be playing 40 Fest next year. I'm not going to tell you who all of them are just yet. But updates for this will be coming soon. We are going to be announcing all of the bands that are playing 40 Fest right here on Punk Rock Talk. Every episode there's going to be an announcement until the full lineup has been announced. So make sure that you tune in here because this is the first place where you will find out who's playing 40 Fest. Shout out to Bill Johnson and 40 Ounce Booking. He's putting in a lot of work to make sure that next year's 40 Fest is awesome. The lineup's awesome. Okay, if you have questions for myself or for Broken Cuffs during this episode, tap that question mark icon on your device. Put the questions there. Please don't put them in the comments section. They get lost there. I don't pay attention to the comments section. That shit just flies by my screen. So, again, tap that question mark icon if you have questions that you'd like to submit. Are you in a band? Do you need merchandise? Dead and Buried Inc. are your source. You can find them here on Instagram at Dead and Buried Inc. That's INC, not INK. You can also find them on their website at deadandburiedinc.com. Again, that's Dead and Buried Inc. INC, not INK. If you're looking for Havoc merch, that's where you're going to find it. All right, having said all of that, it's time to bring on our guest. I'm going to go ahead and send the invitation, so you just give me a second while I send that off. I'm looking forward to this interview. I hope you guys are too. Invitation has been sent. Okay, I saw this comment right now. I want to know if Ricardo will ever grow hair. Well, we'll find out soon enough. He should be joining us here momentarily. Okay, says invitation expired. Let's try it again. 1 second. Sorry about that. I don't know why that happened. Okay, sent again. Hopefully it comes through this time. Okay, it says Broken Cuffs is unable to join. I don't know what the issue is there. Maybe they are having connection issues on their end. DJ Cruz says, Lancaster Street Punks, oi. Okay, hang tight, everybody. It looks like we're just having a little bit of technical difficulty. So we're just going to hang out. I'm here, but no invite. Let me try again. Okay, invitation's been sent again. Broken Cuffs are leaving all of us in suspense this episode. That's okay. Keeps things interesting, right? I hope everybody's been having a really good week. I know I have been. I've got a little bit of sun, if you couldn't tell. Things are warming up for this summer, and I love it. Oh. Okay. Bub77 says, get it together, guys. Hey, how about that? Hot as hell in Chicago today. That Palmdale signal. Yeah, right? Must suck. Broken Cuffs must upgrade. What the fuck? Okay, I'm not sure what that means because I've never had that happen before. So, Ricardo, if you're watching, you should be able to send us an invite. So try that, or we might just need to do this from your personal page. So let's see if we can figure that out. Ricardo, I just sent an invite to your personal page. Let's see if that happens. There's a first time for everything, and one thing I've learned with doing this on a live stream is you never know what to expect. Okay, he says try again, change location to Wi-Fi. Okay, we'll try again, no problem. I got some notification about Broken Cuffs must upgrade, but I didn't see the rest of it. So I'm wondering if there's something about switching to a business page, if it's not a business page already. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay. For whatever reason, they're having problems. Ricardo, if you're watching this, oh, it says Broken Cuffs must update app in order to join. So apparently you don't have the most recent version of Instagram is what I'm guessing. So maybe try that on your end. See if you can go to the App Store and do a quick update. And then we'll try again. I'm going to keep an eye on the comment section. In the meantime, since we're having this issue, let's go ahead and do a short Q&A session that's not for the Broken Cuffs. We will just leave this open-ended. You guys can ask me whatever you'd like. So while we're waiting, again, let's just go ahead and do a short Q&A session to see if we can kill some time while we wait on Broken Cuffs to upgrade their Instagram app. Tap that question mark icon on your screen. Submit your question there, whatever it is. It can be about the Havoc. It can be about punk rock, any bands. It can be about my personal life, what's going on with my career or with the launch of my new label, any of that stuff. Kate Johnson says, hi, Jason. Hi. Okay, it looks like Broken Cuffs, they say they changed phones. Okay, I'll try sending the invitation again. Let's see what happens there. But you guys can still submit questions right now if you want. Okay. Invitation sent to Broken Cuffs. Let's see. There we go.
All right. Fuck, man. I'm so sorry about that.
Fuck is right, man.
We're running on punk rock time over here.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
hey,
you
man.
know what? Here's the story. I have an iPhone 7.
Right.
And I know you guys are on the 13. I'm on the iPhone 7. As long as my phone has Instagram, Facebook, I can text, call, take pictures, videos. I don't need to upgrade to the latest and greatest. So I was like, what the fuck's going on? I guess it's my iPhone that's now too outdated. So I ran inside, borrowed my girlfriend's phone. But here we are. Sorry for the delay.
That's just like a monopoly, you know? Like iPhone has got the market cornered. All of those smartphone companies, you know, it's like you buy this phone, you spend almost $1,000 on it, and then by the time you've paid the fucker off, it's outdated.
That's right. Like right now, I really need a new phone badly, but the new one's coming out in like 2 months. So I'm going to really hate myself for having the iPhone 13. And then October, everyone's rocking the fucking 14 all of a sudden. So,
right.
Sorry for keeping you guys waiting for so long, but here we are. We're going to be on my girlfriend's phone. I almost logged into our Buck Bouquet page, but here we are, Broken Cuffs.
Awesome. Well, Ricardo, thanks so much for being here, man.
My pleasure.
I got to tell you, dude, not only am I a fan of your band, but I'm just a fan of you.
Wow.
No,
Thanks,
seriously.
Seriously.
You just have such a great energy. Every time I talk with you, like the energy level is always high. The mood is always good.
All
like
right.
you just have something positive and vibrant to share. And I just think that's fucking cool, man.
I like to hear that. Thanks a lot, man. It's like, you know, there's a lot of negativity out there, so we could be positive about life. Here we are. A lot of people have died over COVID and shit. Me and you have survived, and anyone else that's on the fucking live stream, we've made it this far. So anything, just be happy to be alive and shit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if everyone's in a bad mood, it's like, it's always good to try and be positive about something and try and snap people out of that shit, you know?
Yeah, man, I think that's like a huge reason why a lot of people gravitate towards punk rock, because like something in their life is just really shitty, and like they feel like they don't have a place, or they don't have a home or something like that. And then they discover punk rock. It's a place where they can be accepted for who they are.
100%.
You know, and like, I think that it depends on the band, you know, but there's a lot of positivity that can be found in the message of punk rock, especially in that whole philosophy of, hey, fuck everyone else, just be yourself.
That's right. And, you know, because it's not like my life is super peachy and great. You know, we all have our troubles and our own problems that we deal with. But just like you said, like punk rock provides therapy for me. Whenever we play with our band, it's literally therapy. And I could probably speak to most people that are in bands. Like, that's what we do. Like, once I'm behind my guitar and I'm hanging out with my boys, like, my problems disappear.
Right.
Thing with surf, I'm moving locations, but I got my surfboard right back here. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a great surfer, but growing up in Southern California, I said, I'm going to go fucking surf. And nobody taught me. I'm self-taught, but I love it. And look, I don't want to be like a hypocrite, because it's not like I'm straight edge, but I've had friends that have been dealing with like drug problems. And I've converted some people to go surf with me, and they go, well, fuck drugs, man. Let's go surf. Like, let's go do something positive. Let's go hiking mountains, or like I said, going surfing. And a couple of my friends have been straight edge for fucking like 4 years now because they found surfing. And I can't, like, it sounds like I'm fucking making shit up, but one of my best friends, he thanks me anytime I see him. I'm like, dude, like, you fucking saved my life. He's like, I was going on a fucking path that I didn't like. My family was, you know, isolating me from them, and my girlfriend was just done, but he learned how to surf with me, and that he goes fucking surfing way more than I do. He goes like once a week. I go once in a blue moon nowadays, but yeah, it's like you got to find something that fills a void or makes you happy, and if it's something positive like getting some exercise done, fuck yeah. And when you're surfing and the sun's setting, there's nothing else like it, man. It's beautiful, and I sound like super corny, but it's like I've gone to those evening surf sessions where it's like we're in the water, just me and my best friend, fucking sun setting over the horizon, you know, for those flat earther people. I don't know what they think the sun goes. Bro, like, we watched that shit on YouTube. We watched some guy called Simon and Dan that debunks flat earthers. It's the funniest shit, because it's like people that go on YouTube saying, well, the earth is flat and this is why, and everything's like, all of that is so wrong that you just said. But I was just telling my girlfriend, where do they think the sun goes when, like, you know, the earth is rotating?
Right.
Because you've seen a sunset at the ocean, right? It goes below the water. So unless you think the sun sinks, what the fuck? It's not just going far into the distance, because it would not go below the water. Anyway.
No, man, I can totally relate to what you're talking about. As you know, I lived in Southern California for a long time. I still consider it to be my second home. I miss it all the time. I miss it and I don't miss it, you know, for different reasons. But yeah, man, like, I never learned to surf because I just don't have the balance for it. But I did learn to bodyboard, and that shit, I mean, I don't know if it's quite as exhilarating as surfing is.
Right.
But I loved it. And yeah, man, I had those evenings out there in the ocean watching the sunset, and there's something so peaceful and serene about that. And it's just gorgeous.
Yes.
So yeah, man, like, I can totally relate to like how that's therapeutic, just the same way that music is, man. Like, you know, for me being on stage, that's when I feel like I am 100% my authentic self.
Right.
And having that shit taken away from us during COVID was so hard. That's the longest I've been off stage since I started playing in bands at the age of 13.
Right.
You know, so that shit was really hard.
Yeah, whether you're a performer or not, even people that, I mean, what do people do that don't attend shows and stuff? It's like, what the fuck do they even do with their weekends? But
Yeah.
I mean, I really miss going to shows, obviously playing shows, but it's like, fuck, man. And I don't know, like, thanks to the quarantine, actually, I kind of found other things about myself that I didn't know I was capable of. Like, I heard you say the other day that you're a carpenter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. I have zero building experience. I used to work at a dental office pre-COVID, and I'm going to go back to a dental office eventually. But right now with COVID and shit, like, you're working in people's mouths, and as soon as you start drilling on a tooth, their shit flies in your face. People are
Yeah.
still getting sick. I'm like, I'm going to take a little break from that right now. But I started building chicken coops, man. And I don't even mean to bring that up, but it's like, that's what COVID did. Like, I had never picked up a fucking power drill before, but I had one laying around the house. I'm like, let's see what I can do with this shit. And before I know it, I'm building a hen house for
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
That thing led to people saying, can you make me one? Well, can you build me one? And that's what I've been doing pretty much full time nowadays. It's kept me afloat. And that was a new skill that I didn't know I had. I became a fucking chicken coop builder.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing, man. You and I had an opportunity to talk about this in person when the Havoc played our comeback show in LA.
Rad as fuck.
That was a fun show, and it was cool to finally get some hang time with you in person. But yeah, like I just find that to be fascinating because you're really successful with that. Like your social media following is rather large for that.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, like that's what like one of those things that comes along in your life that you're not expecting at all, and then it's just like, okay, this is my life now. Like
Yeah, it's insane, man. For people that don't know, so I run a chicken Instagram and YouTube page called Bok Bok Bouquet. And it all started with, during COVID, my girlfriend wanted to get us some chicken so that we wouldn't have to buy them at the grocery store. She refuses. She goes, that's like supporting animal cruelty if you're buying chicken or eggs from chickens that live in a little 12 by 12 cage. She goes, let's buy a couple of hens. And at first I was like, what? We don't need any more pets. We got 2 dogs. Like, we don't need something else to take care of. But she goes, I don't want to be eating some GMO egg from the grocery store and supporting animal torture. So fine, we got a couple chickens. Then 2 became 5, and then 5 became 10, and then it just kind of kept going. But I would always post it on my own Instagram. And then one of our friends, Karen from Arizona, she goes, hey, Ricardo, you should make an Instagram page for just your chickens. Like, I love seeing them here, but they deserve their own page. And I was like, okay, like that sounds cool. And I thought, oh, we'll probably have like 1,000 followers or something because people are animal lovers.
Yeah.
Well, we've had it for about a year and a half. When I saw you, I think we had like 30,000 followers on that shit.
Yeah.
We're now at 67,000 followers on our chicken Instagram page. Fucking mind blowing, man. And then so we post shit on Instagram about our chickens, and now we have 2 goats too. I'm doing the farming thing, homesteading, which is great because we grow our own food, not the animals, but we grow vegetables like kale, spinach, lettuce, tomatoes, jalapenos, all that shit. And it's so satisfying to be able to grow your own food that that you're feeding them organic like material, and you're not having some GMO shit. You're not relying on what's at the grocery store, whether there's a food shortage or they want to hike up the price on that kind of shit. It's amazing. And some of my bandmates have slept over my house, and we wake up, and you can ask them. I wake up and I make them some fresh eggs, some potatoes from our garden, and fucking peppers and everything. Total chaos just slept at my house a couple weeks ago. You bet that when they woke up, they had a fucking full-on meal right out of my garden.
I love that, man. That's amazing.
Rob Chaos is all about that shit. He's got his own garden over in Germany where he lives. Him and his wife follow our YouTube channel, Bok Bok Bouquet. He loves our chickens. He loves our farm. And even fucking people like Mike Blanks, he tunes in and he watches like my YouTube on how to build a chicken coop. Meanwhile, I'm rocking one of his shirts. So
yeah,
because I just dress like I dress every day. Like I've worn this shirt on our chicken page, and then someone goes, "Cockspar, are you into cockfighting?" I was like, I probably shouldn't have wore this shirt for that, right? Because we're raising chickens, but people think it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like people that don't know like bands and shit. Yeah. But come to find out is that I think the singer of Cockspar keeps chickens. Someone told me that, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So we are playing Rebellion Festival this year in August. Yep. And they're gonna be playing, so I'm gonna try and talk to him about our chickens because it's just crazy. Like, I never thought I would love chickens as much as I do. I'm super passionate about it, as you can tell. But it's like, It's
Yeah.
like having puppies forever. It's like they never grow up. They're always like this baby. We pick up our hands, we pet them, they fall asleep in our arms. Sweetest little things. And then I'm looking at your wall there. It says Endless Struggle, that record.
Yep.
Same shit. I saw them play 3 weeks ago in LA. And then the bassist started talking to me. I don't know how chickens came up, but he goes, "Oh my God, I have chickens." And then I started showing him my page, and he goes, "Wait, what the fuck? My wife and I watch your channel. Like, that's you." It was just like, he was talking to me, and all of a sudden he goes, "Wait, like, I know your channel. We've seen your videos. Like, this is you." And then he shows me a picture of a YouTube. He's like, "Wait, that's you right there."
That is so
And
funny,
it was super
man.
cool. So we just were able to connect over chicken keeping because we raise pets, and I'm an animal lover. So anyone that loves animals like that is our friend.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, Mike Blanks has been very outspoken with his support of Broken Cuffs. He wore Broken Cuff shirt when I interviewed him and Jason.
Oh.
I don't know, a couple months ago or some shit.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Fuck
And then
yeah.
I see him commenting all the time on Facebook and shit, like, "I like the Broken Cuffs."
Oh yeah. Well, he calls us the Broken Cuffs.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not just because our band name is Broken Cuffs.
Yeah, he always says
Mike calls us the Broken Cuffs, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll take it. And he goes, "The Ramones." You know, you say the Ramones, even though their name's just Ramones. People always say the Ramones.
Yeah, they do.
So he's got a point there. And I told him
True.
I would make him a special shirt next time we make shirts, and it's gonna say the Broken Cuffs. Just for
Nice. You know, dude, what I think would be hilarious is if Broken Cuffs wrote a song about your chicken coop, like something funny, like intentionally funny, like you could call the song Chicken Shit, you know, and like put that on, you know, your chicken coop YouTube channel.
Yep.
And you never know, man, that might go viral for some reason. And then it's just more promotion for your business, but also your band. And, you know, I think it's cool when bands can, like, kind of poke fun at themselves, you know, let their guard down a little bit and, like, show a different side. You know, it's like, come on, man. Like, you can't be a badass 24/7. Like, relax a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You're like, you can't take yourself too seriously, man. That's just the truth. You know, we poke fun at each other, and it's just, we're just being goofballs, you know? You can't be this fucking tough guy shit. Like, you know, even Coxbar has a song that says, "Even tough guys need some love sometimes."
Right.
So, yeah. No, that's a good idea. I've never cross-promoted, like, our band with our chicken page, but fuck it, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I usually wear, like, band shirts on our chicken channel, so I'll be wearing, like, Lower Class Brats or, like I said, Mike Blank 77. I just wear what I wear on the daily. So,
yeah.
You know, it's not a costume or anything like that. We're out there doing the punk rock gardening, and some people on our channel have been like, "Oh, that guy is wearing an H2O shirt, hardcore kid racing chickens, awesome." So every now and then you get people that recognize a band shirt, and they're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, like, what's your Instagram? Like, I want to follow you guys."
That's awesome.
And our shit goes viral sometimes, man. Like, we have a video of, like, a duck on my shoulder, and it's got, like, 11 million views, which is fucking mind-blowing. I don't believe that shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
You just never know. Like, some little shit could go super viral without even trying.
Yeah. We haven't had a chance yet to really talk about the band too much.
Sorry, I talk a lot.
No, it's cool. Because one thing that I love about doing this is that we get a chance to kind of see the human, you know, the human aspect of our guests, not just like the band personality. Right. So it's great that we're covering all of this right now, but I do want to ask some questions about the band. For anyone that's tuning in right now that's not familiar with Broken Cuffs, could you just give a little introduction, where the band is from, who plays what, you know, and you know, how the band started? Yeah,
definitely. So we're Broken Cuffs from Palmdale, California. A lot of people say that we're from LA, but we're really from Palmdale. We represent our hood. We grew up an hour north of LA in Palmdale, desert, middle of nowhere, and that's what we rock. We don't say we're an LA band. We're from Palmdale. We stay true. Yeah. We're a 3-piece band currently. Our drummer lives in Las Vegas. His name's Chile. He's from Chile, the country Chile. So ever since I met him, he goes, "Hey, I'm Chile." And then eventually, like 7 years later, someone asked me, "What's his real name?" I said, "I don't know." Like, you don't know his name? I said, no, I really don't. I met him as Chile, and I don't know his name. But I don't think he even wants me to say it out loud. But anyway, we know him as Chile. And then our bassist, Kobe, I went to high school with him. We were just fucking like 13, 14 years old. We went to Palmdale High School. And in fact, there's a profile here. It's called I Kappa 28. That's our original singer from fucking 2005. He's on the live stream right now. I just noticed. What's up, Ivan? We went to high school together too. So speaking of Ivan, we were just sitting at our lunch table. We were probably 10th grade in high school. And, you know, just sharing music. Like, he would let me borrow, like, Punk and Disorderly DVD. And I would let him borrow, like, The Addicts, you know, Live in England or some shit like that. And one of these days, we were just like, hey, we like a lot of the same shit. Like, we should start a band. And I was already playing guitar just in my own room and shit. And I said, okay, like, I've been jamming out to these riffs. What can you do? And he goes, well, how about if I sing? I said, okay. Well, now we just need a drummer and a bassist. And back then my cousin was jamming out with what was our original drummer, Adam. And he said, well, let's fucking jam out and let's see what the fuck happens. And so we did, and boom, just like that, we were Broken Cubs. So back then we were a 5-piece band. We had our drummer, I was lead guitar, my cousin used to play rhythm guitar, our bassist Isaac, and then Ivan was just our vocalist. We played for about 2 years. And within those 2 years, and by the way, we were just fucking like 15, 17 years old when we started Broken Cubs back in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
But in those 2 years, we got like really, like we got attention really quickly, where we were all of a sudden we were opening for like the Casualties when we were fucking 15 years old.
That's crazy.
We actually played a show with the Havoc here in Lancaster. It's also our hometown, back in 2006. We were just fucking teenagers, and you guys were a band that we looked up to. So getting on that kind of bill, it was just amazing. My favorite show we ever played, even to this day, we were, again, in teenagers in high school, but we were lucky enough to play for Blitz.
Cool.
The UK band Blitz.
Yep.
It had one original member, but it was still fucking Blitz, man. Like,
yeah, it's so cool.
It was Blitz, Total Chaos, and that is our best show we've ever played. Like, even for us, that we were opening, that fucking venue was so packed, and immediately just exploded. As soon as we started playing, fucking people stage diving during our set, not just during the headlining set, during our set. People were already fucking stage diving and shit. I'll never forget it. And then a week later, I think that rumor has it that they rolled their van while on tour, and that was the end of that, because the last original member died in that accident. And
oh wow,
we got to play with them a week before his passing. So we're just so lucky that we had the honor to share a stage with a very inspirational band like Blitz for our band.
Yeah.
So after 2 years, we had a really good opportunity with Mike Virus from Cheap Sex back then. We played with them, and he gave me a business card with his phone number, his home address, and said, I want to get you guys over to the Punker Records. Send me a demo. Well, we said, fuck, our demo we recorded in my garage, like on a fucking cassette player thing. I don't want to send them that. Our drummer had a studio, like $100,000 studio that belonged to his dad at home. So we said, hey, let's pay your dad. Like, let's send him some legit shit, because this is going to fucking Punkcore Records.
Yeah. So
then we started the recording process, except that we could not use any of the gear unless his father was home, and he was never home. So we were able to track 12 tracks, all instrumentals, but never the vocals.
Oh,
and then
shit.
2 years passed, and we fucked up, man. We really missed that opportunity with Mike Virus, where he said, send me your demo, and I'll get it over to some people I know or my own label. And I think he was talking about Evacuate Records. I don't think he knew, or if it was around then yet, but that's what happened. We ended up splitting up after that period. We were teenagers in high school, and everyone started getting full-time jobs. I ended up getting married real young. I was like 19, I think. I was 21.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I mean, long story short, my ex, she grew up with a dad that was never, ever, ever home. So she kind of had like dad issues like that. And she was afraid that me being a touring guy was going to do the same shit to eventually our kids. So I kind of started thinking like, fuck, like she's really fucked up because her dad was never home. No excuse, right? But that's what it was. So I took a step back and I said, well, you guys should carry on the band. I'm just the guitarist, but there's 2 guitars and you guys, keep going with the band and shit. I couldn't do it anymore. So I left the band, and then soon after that, like, the band just fell apart. They didn't want to proceed. Fast forward, I'm not no longer with that person. We got divorced and shit. 9 years later, one of our original guitarists hits me up and said, hey, do you want to get the band back together? How cool would that be? And I said, well, I got a bunch of free time now. So yes, like, let's fucking do it. And we kicked it back off again in 2015. So it doesn't feel like it, but now 7 years later, here we are kicking ass again, trying to do our thing.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how time flies like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, not to mention that COVID stole 2 years from all of us.
Yeah. Well, and you guys are one of those bands that, like, uniquely released a full album during the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, being that we weren't playing any shows, we were actually able to rehearse, because we never used to do that. We would just play on our own. Like, we knew our songs, and showtime came by. It was like, okay, you know the song, I know the song. Ready? 1, 2, 3, here we go. And a live show, it used to be just kind of like our practice, but because of COVID, we were able to get together, do some songwriting. We ended up picking up Chile, our current drummer right now, and we were able to bring him up to speed with all of our previous songs. And we were able to write new songs with him. So then we went ahead and hit the studio. And then 2 weeks later, we said, let's just drop it on CD. So do we want to do vinyl? Absolutely. But we just wanted it out. We had been working on it for a couple of years, songwriting. So I said, I need something now. I don't need something that's going to come out 9 months to a year from now. I want it now. I'm really proud of this baby. Let's share it with the world. So we put it out on CD and cassette. A label from Indonesia called Noise 82 was able to pick up our LP, and they pressed a few cassettes that is now being distributed in Asia, which
That's awesome.
blows my mind. It's great.
Yeah.
We're just a garage band from Palmdale, California, but we got people from Indonesia listening to Broken Cups. Ani Fuck Guy is one of them, and he's been a long-time supporter. He's the best, man. I'm going to say you should have him on the show. I'm going to request that he's on Punk Rock Talk sometime soon, because he supports the shit out of the punk scene out here. Like, all of our friends' bands, he follows them. He's very interactive. He found our shit about 5 years ago, right when we rebooted the band. And immediately he was a supporter, and he ordered some shirts from us. This is like 6 years ago, man. And, like, this guy's fucking on stage wearing a Broken Cup shirt, which was like, that's insane. We never thought that our music would reach, such far places like Indonesia, halfway around the world.
Yeah. You make a good point, and I've actually thought about that a lot, having guests from other countries on the show. And I've actually reached out to some of them to talk about it. There's a few things that I'm not exactly sure how to approach just yet. One of those things being the major time difference, because I keep this show at the same time every week because consistency is important. And it's what works for my life and my schedule.
Yeah.
But in other parts of the world, at this time of the day, it could be the middle of the night there.
Yeah, it's probably like nighttime and shit. Although I've seen him hop on the show sometimes, so whatever.
Yeah, I've seen him too.
Come on, but anyway, I was just like, I want him on the show because he's a really cool dude, man. I love him.
Yeah.
The Sabotage from Indonesia, they fucking rock.
The other thing that I've thought about and not really sure how to approach is the language barrier.
Right.
Because this show is, obviously it's a lot of talking, and I want to make sure that whoever is my guest, that I can clearly understand them and that they can clearly understand me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then there's not a lot to talk about.
I get it. Well, maybe one of these days, like I said, a big shout out to the Sabotage from Indonesia.
Hell yeah, man. Sabotage is awesome.
But yeah, we got our tape floating around somewhere in Indonesia. The guy sent us like 30 copies, and they're now sold out. I don't even have one. I ended up selling my own copy. Someone wanted it. I was like, well, okay, like, this was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't put myself first. It's just if somebody wants it and they're going to appreciate that shit, fuck yeah, you can have it.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit you do for your baby, right?
That's right.
I'm curious to know what it was like recording during COVID. Like what studio you guys went to, and like, what was that like? Like, were you guys having to mask up, and like, was it weird? Like, I can't even imagine.
So we went into the studio. It was almost a year ago. So
Okay.
it was kind of towards the end of COVID where masks weren't being like required much anymore. Not to mention that we recorded at our friend's studio. He works out of his own garage, but he's got, like, when I say that, it sounds like, oh, a garage, but he's got it set up really nicely.
Yeah.
Home studio. And shout out to Memphis Street Studios. And that is the guitarist of the band, the Hard Knocks.
Okay.
It's an oi band from LA, one of our favorite bands here.
Cool.
It's the guitarist from the Hard Knocks. He runs Memphis Street Studios. So yeah, when we came in, I literally asked him, like, do you want us to wear a mask? Because we gladly will if you don't feel comfortable with us being in your home. But he goes, no, it's okay. Like, it's pretty laid back. It's just his garage. And, you know, we just kind of kept our distance anyway, where he was running the controls in one corner. I was on guitar right here. And then, like, my two bandmates were just there on the side and shit. We would just take turns. But yeah, it was a really good experience. We went and tracked our 12 songs in 2 days. So we were able to go in there and completely finish it in 2 days.
That's awesome.
And we did that in September. Mid-September. I think 2 or 3 weeks later, October 1st, was when we released our self-titled album on CD, and he was able to master and do the whole thing over at Memphis Street Studios.
Very cool, man. I wish the Havoc could work that fast, but
you guys are all over the place too, so it's hard. I know, like, even our drummer being in Las Vegas,
yeah,
hard to all get together all at once. Even just this morning, I was texting them saying, like, hey, let's record a music video for one of our tracks named Fight. And then, because he's going to be here this weekend. So I said, hey, when are you available? He's like, no, I got plans and shit, but let's do it, like, after Rebellion. So
yeah.
We're looking at a month and a half out. So it's a little hard when you don't live in the same town, or he's about a 4-hour drive, and he makes it all the time. But right now, he said, let's do it after Rebellion, because he's, you know, it's a lot of back and forth. We got to fly out to England and all that shit. But
Totally.
It's harder when you're not all in the same place. So I understand.
Yeah, you know, that has definitely been somewhat of an obstacle, but I'm grateful for where technology is these days with recording. I have my own home studio, so everything that I work on for the Havoc, I just do it in the comfort of my own home, which is awesome. And then Josiah has his own studio also. And so, you know, the core of the group are there in Southern California, so they still get together every week and, you know, can do shit. And so, you know, I'm grateful that I don't have to be there. I can still do what I need to do in my own home and just send it to them. But also, like, you know, it's not just a new record or another record for us. It's a comeback record. So we put a lot of thought into all of the songs and, like, what we want to say and who we want to say it to or who we want to say it about. You know, and so, and plus, man, just like, we haven't been a band in so long. So it was kind of like, well, how do we go about this?
Right.
Not just contending with the distance, but also not having, you know, been in the same room together for years.
Right. And people have high expectations, man. I understand.
Yeah.
However, the shit that you guys have released so far, it's fucking great.
Thanks,
the music video you guys filmed in LA at the show we were all at, that fucking song, it's really good. I can't wait to watch the video.
Well, I have good news.
When does it come out?
I just saw the final edit last week, and everybody's stoked on it. So we're hoping that it's going to be out, you know, probably in the next few weeks. I think we're going to be like making the first announcement for it on Thursday of this week.
Yep, can't wait. But yeah, that song, I mean, not forget the music video. That was fucking full of rage and shit. It was awesome. But the song, we heard it like I think what, 3 times in a row? Yeah. Fucking epic. We didn't mind hearing it over and over. It's really good. And I mean that shit. Like, I ain't someone to kiss ass. Like, if you got nothing nice to say, you just don't mention it, right? That's it. Right. But it was fucking good, and we can't wait to fucking see the music video and to hear the rest of the album.
I appreciate
So
that.
I'm looking at the comment section here. Jorge from Dead77 says, "Hey, you'll be busy this weekend, so let's plug that shit. We're a community here. We like to promote each other.
Hell yeah.
Friends." So he's talking about they'll be playing a show with Lower Class Brats, the Hard Knocks, which we were just talking about. That's 77, and the Riffs. So that's happening this weekend, July 3rd in LA, same venue that you guys played.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows coming through that venue.
Oh yeah. In fact, there was going to be a show there July 1st this weekend from a band from Calgary, which we were just at. And it was fucking awesome. Like, that's why I like doing what we do. Like, you get to travel, you meet cool people. And then before I knew it, I was talking to the singer of the band called The Enforcers. It's a really good oi band from Calgary, Canada.
Uh-huh.
They were supposed to play here in LA this Friday, July 1st, but apparently their guitarist couldn't make it through the border. So unfortunately, they had to cancel like their 5 dates they had here in California. So now I'm like, I got to find something to do on July 1st now, because that was my plan. I was going to go see the buddy that we just met in Canada about a month ago and go and support him, because we were playing and then this motherfucker's up in the front singing our songs. And I was like, what the fuck? They know our shit here.
It's awesome.
So I was like, now it's my turn to go fuck shit up at his pit when they play in LA. But unfortunately, I got canceled.
Yeah, man, that's what makes the punk rock scene so awesome, because it's a community that just supports each other.
Yeah. And then Kurt from Dismantle here says, come to Punks Unite. I wish, man. It's just, I didn't really plan on it because a lot of the bands that are playing that thing are coming through LA. So bittersweet. I mean, great for us, but maybe not so good for Punks Unite. But a lot of the bands that are on there are coming to LA. So I'm going to catch them here. And then I did want to see the Enforcers, who are now on the live stream. They just said, they gave us a fist emoji there. But yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing the Enforcers from Canada. And then I looked into, well, what if I fly out to Denver for Punks Unite on July 2nd through, the 5th or whatever. But I couldn't muster up like spending $500 on a 3-day flight. So
yeah,
I'm not coming to Punks Unite, unfortunately. But for those of you that are, fucking have a great time, man. We played the last Fuck You We Rule, and that was fucking amazing. So we played 2019 pre-COVID, and then that's when we got word of like, oh, well, next year's Fuck You Rule is going to happen in Denver. So I was like, sweet, but then it's been postponed like 3 years in a row now.
Right. Yeah, man, shout out to all the bands playing that. Hope you guys have a great time. To everybody that is traveling to Denver for that, you guys have safe travels. Enjoy the shit out of the festival. Shout out to Tony,
Woody and Michelle, yeah, they're the shit.
El Casalio, love you guys. I hope you guys get to enjoy it and you're not stressing out over all of the technical details and all that shit. We've talked about some performances that you guys have had in the past and some that you have coming up. There's another one coming up at the beginning of next year. You want to tell everybody what that's about?
Oh, we're getting there already?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jason. I talk a lot. I go on these rants. You should cut me off. It should be like,
it's all good, man. You're the guest. That's what this show is all about. Like, it's not about me coming on here and talking all the time. It's the guest that's important. Okay. So no, I love that you're, keeping us all informed with everything that's going on that you guys are doing.
I try, man. Like I said, if our friends want to plug their show, I'm more than happy to fucking help them out. We're a community here, and punk rock's not a competition, it's support. So if you're not supporting your friends, what the fuck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, what you're getting at, a lot of people don't know, but Broken Cuffs will be on 40 Fest 2023. So that's January, thanks to Bill Johnston, which I think is still on the live stream here, so shout out to him. But yeah, Broken Cuffs will be on 40 Fest 2023 in Atlanta, Georgia, and we can't fucking wait. Should we say what other bands are playing on that thing?
What's that?
Should we say what other bands are on it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, I'm going to announce it even though Mike Blanks already had a spoiler.
He did, that fucker.
He tricked you. So let's just officially announce that the Havoc are also playing 40 Fest 2023.
Let's do it.
And the Hanging Judge are also going to be
The Hanging Judge.
I was listening to them earlier today while I was painting and shit. I was building a chicken coop, and they fucking rock, man. It's an oi band from, I guess they're from Atlanta, Georgia, the Hanging Judge, and they're the shit. Really melodic, really like high energy, like punching your face kind of shit. It's rad. But yeah, they'll be on it too. So the Havoc, Broken Cuss, and the Hanging Judge officially announced today.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited for that show. Not only because the lineup is badass, and I'm going to get to see a lot of friends there, but also that is going to be the official album release show for the Havoc's new album. So we're really excited.
All right, I heard that earlier today too. I was on the phone with Bill Johnson. He said they're gonna be doing an album release. Perfect timing, man.
Yeah, man, I talk with Bill almost every day. I have so much respect for him and what he is building in Atlanta. He's very passionate about his community and building up the local scene in Atlanta and putting a spotlight on the bands that are from the area. And he's doing a great job. So again, shout out to Bill. Looking forward to 40 Fest. This shit's going to be awesome.
100%. Yeah, with your spoiler that I was talking about. So
yeah.
when Mike Blanks announced that Blank 77 were going to be on 40 Fest, and he goes, "Oh, and so are you guys, aren't you?" And he wasn't supposed to say that, or he somehow guessed that you guys would be on it. You were like, "Yeah, we weren't going to announce it yet, but yeah, I guess so." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know. I was just assuming."
Yeah, man, he is such a character. But I loved having him on the show, and I hope that I have him on as a guest again in the future. And you know, Blanks have been really active this year, which is so fucking cool to see, because that's a band that I've loved since the late 90s. And the fact that they're still going, like, and you know, like it seems like they just like kick things into overdrive recently, and I just think it's fucking rad.
They're awesome. They're incredible people, but too, like you said, I got introduced to them like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Freshman in high school, so it would have been 2002.
Uh-huh.
My friend, he gave me a blank CD. There's a burned CD, and it had Killer Blanks on it, and full length. And then The Virus, Still Fighting for a Future. So that he was like, "You got to check this shit out."
Yeah, great records, man.
Both bands. It was just like, fuck yeah, like this is the shit. Full circle, like years later, like we're opening up for them here in California. So I was like, fuck yeah, like it's crazy, man. Like the people you get to meet because we're doing what we love, and you know, people that we idolized still do.
Yep.
We get to like play with them and become friends with them, like know each other on like first name basis. Like I saw Renee was on here earlier too, and when we were in our East Coast run late last year, she put us up at her house. She hosted us, and not only that, but she drove our whole band from Philadelphia to New Jersey.
So cool, man.
And then, like, I would have never asked that at first. We were just going to take a train. Like, we got them. They're like, "Oh, you don't have a rental car?" I said, "No, we're just going to take the train." They're like, no, you're not going to take no train." And I said, "No, certainly. We don't mind we were just carrying, like, our guitars and shit, you know, and breakables. Like, we'll just hop on a train and go over to the next town. We have all day to get there." She's like, no. She's like, "We're going to jam pack you guys in my car." And in her little SUV, it was a 5-seater, but we had Renee up in the front, Johnny in the front, Mike Blanks, and then the whole band in her backseat. We were all just squished like this. It was like a couple-hour drive. It was like gnarly traffic, but it was just great. Like it's those kind of things that I'll remember forever.
Punk rock adventure, man.
But yeah, and with one of our favorite bands. And then that night, I think our drummer was like, "Hey, we should do a Blank 77 song with you guys." Like, and Mike's like, "Okay, yeah, let's fucking do it." And so that night, I gave my guitar to Renee, and then they hopped on stage with us. It was a basement show, but they hopped on and they played "I Want to Be a Punk." So it was my bassist and my drummer with Renee on guitar and Mike on vocals. And that was great.
Awesome.
I didn't get to play. I was just like, "Here you go," to the Queen of Pogo.
Yeah.
They did a song. The crowd loved it. But then in December at Punksmess in Texas, I got to do the same shit. Renee didn't make the show because she had COVID, so she canceled the trip.
Yeah.
And then filling guitars, James from Gen Y, the band Gen Y.
Yep.
And then towards the end of the set, he breaks the string, and then Tim from Blanks goes, "Hey, is Ricardo still around? Does he have his guitar? Does he want to come up and play this last song with us?" And I was like, that must be "I Want to Be a Punk." I know how to play that shit. So I came and I was giving the guitar to him, and he goes, no, you're playing it. So I was able to play "I Want to Be a Punk" on guitar with Blank 77 at Punksmess. It was fucking great.
That's rad. That's one band that I always hoped that we would play with, and we never did. So I'm glad that we're going to be playing with them at 40 Fest, man. That's going to be so cool. We're talking about The Virus, Still Fighting for a Future. Like, that's still one of my favorite street punk records. And fortunately, we played with the Virus a few times back in the early 2000s, which was a lot of fun.
Right.
Hopefully we'll play with them again sometime in the future, man. But yeah, it's cool that, these bands are still around and like we can play shows with them and like still continue to like grow this community and, show the next generation like, hey, like what this is all about.
Yeah, that's why we love playing all ages venues, because it's like when it's a bar venue, you cut out 70% of the audience that may attend.
Yep.
And then the kids that are there that are usually like teenagers. When I was a teenager, all I wanted to do was go into pit. Like I went to school all day and I was angry at shit. So when you go into pit, again, it's therapy, right? So you go into pit, you stage dive, you just forget about your problems. So when you do these all ages shows, you get that crowd that's going to pit. They sing all your lyrics, and you might inspire one of them to start their own band, because that's the beauty of punk rock. Like, I'm not even a talented musician. I can barely play my guitar, but somehow I play guitar and I sing for a band called Broken Cuffs. If I could inspire anyone else to start a band, if they got a message, and there's a lot to sing about nowadays.
Absolutely.
What's wrong in our world and this country and in general, then
I think that now is definitely a prime time to write punk music. Like there is so much to talk about. So much shit that's wrong. We got off to a little bit of a late start today, so we're a little bit later in the show for this next section, but we need to do it. I'm looking forward to doing it. The live Q&A portion of this show is going to start right now. So if you're watching right now and you have questions for myself or Ricardo, go ahead and tap that question mark icon on your device to submit your question there. Please do not put it in the comments section. There are already some questions in the queue. I don't know if these are from before when we were having issues with the invite or not, but I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and let's see what's going on.
If they want to know what iPhone I'm rocking, it's the iPhone 7. I'm old-fashioned like that. I need to upgrade. What's up, the horribles?
Okay, there's a few questions in here. We've been talking about this guy a lot during this show, so it's only appropriate that we let him chime in here. This first question comes from Bill Johnson of 40 Ounce Booking. He says, how did the Broken Cuffs get to be so goddamn good?
I'll make it short and sweet. A lot of fucking good bands out there while we were growing up. So we pull inspiration from everything from hardcore punk, street punk, fucking UK 82, Oi, and Pogo. Like, those are all our influences. And I think you can kind of see all those. I hope you can notice all those in our music. But it's not just one type of music that we sound like. Like, the last thing I want people to say is, oh, Broken Cuffs sounds just like, we mimic anyone. We just do what we do, and we play music that we like. If you're not a fan of your own music, then why the fuck are you doing it?
Okay, this next question comes from Oi Boys Records. Is Broken Cuffs planning on a vinyl release for These Boots?
All right. Well, what's up, Oi Boys? Yeah, we were talking to him actually a couple weeks ago, and maybe releasing our first EP that came out in 2016, I believe. I'm not sure. Let me Wikipedia it, but I think
it is 2016. I know that because I researched it earlier.
Damn, that's how much I know about my band. I was just kind of thinking, well, we got back together in 2015. About a year later, we put out a release. So, yeah. We might be releasing that on a 7-inch, and then also to coincide with the release of our full-length LP that we just released in October. So we're looking into pressing that. We're talking to a couple of labels and doing a couple of co-releases. Don't want to say any names yet because nothing is set in concrete yet, but it's coming along. The people that have been asking, when are you putting out vinyl? It's coming, guys. With the CD, we just did it because we wanted it out ASAP and to give you guys something to listen to because we were well overdue for a new record.
You know what, man? I've got to chime in on this topic because you've mentioned it a couple of times, and I just have to agree with you, man. Like, CDs, I know that it's like outdated in terms of technology, but there's still something to be said for that physical media, which is a huge reason why for this first compilation that I'm releasing on Rebellion Noise Records, I'm releasing it on CD, because when you can hold something tangible, it becomes a part of your experience as a human. It becomes a part of your existence. And we live in this digital era where everything is available on our phones, but it's not the same as being able to hold a CD and look at the artwork and take out the disc and, you know, take out the insert. And like, that's all experiential. It's not just passive, you know, easy to forget media. So I think it's fucking cool that you guys put it out on CD.
Thank you. And for those people that were like, some people were like, why are you guys doing CD? Like, no one's going to buy no fucking CDs. Well, we put out only like 100, right? We're like, well, let's test the waters. We sold out of 100 copies like within a month and a half.
That's amazing, dude.
And
I think that's a testament to, you know, people miss physical media.
And that was just 3 shows we played. In that month and a half, 3 shows, a few online orders, 100 CDs sold out.
That's awesome.
And we're like, well, what the fuck? People said they weren't going to buy them, but they're out. And it's not like we sold 10,000 copies, but that was a good start. If 100 people wanted our music on a physical media, like you said, because it's free. You can go and stream our album right now for free.
Yeah.
Like iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, it's fucking free. But people wanted to spend money and buy their physical media, like you said. And that's how I grew up. I used to go to the record store, and back then I didn't do vinyl when I was a kid, but I was 12 years old buying like the latest AFI CD. And we're talking about like Black Sails in the Sunset, when AFI was a hardcore band. They're not anymore. They're more of a very experimental new wave, dark wave band now.
Right.
But when I was about 12 years old, they were an amazing fucking hardcore band. For those people that don't like AFI, I'm sorry, you probably got into it too late.
I remember those days.
Yeah, but I would go to the store and buy a CD, or like the Misfits. I would have all that shit on CD, Bad Religion, Rancid.
Yeah.
Those earlier punk bands that I got into, I would go and buy their CD from the record store.
Dude, I still have all of my CDs.
Same here. I have these 2 big drawers full of CDs, and I'm like, what should I do with them? Because I now buy vinyl.
Yeah.
For years I've been buying vinyl, and that's usually what I buy. Like, I haven't bought a CD in I don't know how long, but I still have all those from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, man, hold on to that shit, because there's memories attached to it. That's why I haven't got rid of any of mine. You know, it's like I want memories that are attached to them.
Yeah. Like, it's like, can I sell them? Maybe, but it's hard for me to like let go of them. Those are things that, I mean, I bought that shit, you know, 20 years ago. And even though it's not a collectible, it's like a collectible for me. But by no means they're worth anything because it's 20 years old CD. Yeah.
Well, it's like, you know, you're talking about selling yours, which you guys should. That's awesome. But the compilation I'm putting out, it's free, you know, and I've got all the bands getting copies of it to give away at their merch table, just because I want the scene to be able to have that physical media and for the music to spread for all the bands. You know, it's just like a great way to cross promote and spread good music all over the country.
Yeah, and those compilations are priceless, man. We talked about earlier, like my original singer would give me like a Punk and Disorderly DVD or a CD too, and it had a bunch of just great bands on it that you would just discover them back then. Same thing with the Punkorama CDs that Fat Records used to put out. It would have a bunch of different bands that you would probably never hear of if it wasn't for that compilation. Yep. Same thing with Punkor Records. They have their compilation, and that's how we used to find out about bands back then, and also Napster and LimeWire and shit like that. But
oh yeah. Next audience question comes from Revive Tattoo.
What's up?
Hey, how was the Canada experience?
That was amazing, Revive Tattoo. I had gone back there like 4 years ago just to visit my friends, who I just ended up meeting through Punk Rock Bowling from Las Vegas. I was buying some tickets to GBH that they were sold out, but they had an extra ticket, so I met up with them. They were really cool people, and then we ended up hanging out at the whole show, and I would annually see them. So one day they were like, whenever you come to Canada, you can stay at our place, like come hang out and shit. So I did take them up on their offer. Had an incredible experience, and then this time around, we're doing Rebellion Festival, as I've been talking about it, but my girlfriend's not going to be able to come to that because it's expensive, you know, quite frankly, it's expensive to go out there. But she goes, I'm not going to go. It sucks and I'm going to miss it. And I was like, well, what if we book this other show and we get to go somewhere cool like Canada? So, something that's a lot more affordable. She goes, oh my gosh, that would be great. So I was able to bring my band to Calgary, and my girlfriend came along, and we just had a great time. We played one show. They wanted us for 2 or 3, but I said, no, let's just do the one gig so that we have time to hang out with my friends that are from there and go just hang out and go bike riding, hiking the mountains, and go to the river and shit like that. So we had a really good fucking time. Loved it.
Next question comes from our friends in the Parasitics. They ask, when are you coming back to New Jersey / Philly?
Fuck. Well, anytime you guys want us to come back, man, Hostel City, always shout out to them, Jason and Chris. And what's his name? I just met one of the other guys, George, I think his name is. He was at one of our shows in Pomona, and he saw our band play. And then he goes, hey, I really liked your set. Would you guys ever consider coming to, like, Philly? And I was like, oh, we were just there. And he goes, oh, Hostel City Oil. And I was like, yes. He's like, oh, that's my boys. I work for them. But I just saw your set, and I wanted to book you guys there. But I was like, well, we just played there like 2 months ago. But he was on some sort of business trip, so he missed us coming to Philly. But it was rad as fuck that he liked us enough to say, I want to get you guys to play for me again there. So, anytime Hostel City wants to talk to us and invite us again, we would love to come there again and hopefully play with you guys. We played with One Sided, which is Aaron from the Parasitics. You just had him on your show a couple weeks ago. Really cool dude, bearded guy.
Yeah, Aaron's great.
He backlined us. Super cool dude, man. So I can't wait to come back and hang out with him some more.
Next audience question comes from River Trash 77. They ask, what's your favorite UK 82 band?
Well, shit, man. Like, there's so many, man. That's not a fair question. Don't put me on the
right.
But fuck, here's one. How about the Mau Maus?
There you go.
And actually, after we wrote and played the shit out of one of our songs, I realized that it sounds a lot like one of their songs.
That's what happens when you're really influenced by a band, man. I feel like the Havoc's first record is definitely like we were wearing our influences on our sleeve back then, man.
Yeah. Well, I wrote the song before I even knew about that band. I was just a teenager in high school. I was like 15.
Yeah.
A song named Cultura. It's one of our Spanish songs.
Okay.
And then I probably found out about Mau Maus like 3 years later. And then their song Travel with the Pack, I think it's called. I'm like, oh shit, the riff sounds like kind of like our song. But I was like, it's what it is. I wrote it without even knowing that song existed.
That's awesome. We've got one last question from the audience, which actually also comes from River Trash 77. They say, are you afraid of sharks taking a bite of you?
Yes. Every time I'm surfing, I'm always afraid. It's fucking scary. Like, the ocean is really scary, but I still surf. You know, you can't see through the water. You know what the fuck's down there, but it's scary, but the amount of fun outweighs the fear. I was stung by a fucking stingray on my foot surfing. I guess I accidentally stepped on a stingray, and it fucking stung me on my ankle, like on the side. Awful, man. There was a stingray sting, and it fucking hurts.
So before we wrap this up, I want to ask, are there any shout outs that you'd like to give?
All our friends, supporters of Broken Cuffs. Like I said, we were talking about Hostel City Oi.
Yep.
Really cool people on the East Coast. He set us up with like 3 shows out there. Back home, all the Eastside Palmdale punks. Fucking Nacho from Corrupted Youth, and he does a lot of the shows out here. He's helped us out a lot in LA, where a lot of times people thought we were from LA because we would play there a lot. And yeah, man, all of our fucking homie bands and shit. The Hard Knocks, they're going to be playing this weekend with Dead 77, Lower Class Brats, and the Ribs. Go check them out. I had a change of plans, so I think I'm going to try and make it to that show too. Memphis Street Studios that did our fucking album. We love it. This motherfucker didn't even need any post-production. Like, everything he was playing back right from recording, I'm like, it sounds fucking good, man. Like, we've never sounded that good. I'm going to do it. I'm like, whatever you've done already sounds great. And just a shout out to all the fucking punks at East Coast, West Coast, around the world.
Right on, man. that's going to be it for this episode of Punk Rock Talk. I want to thank you so much, Ricardo, for
My pleasure.
taking time out of your day to be my guest. Excited about everything that is going on with the Broken Cuffs.
The Broken Cuffs.
The Broken Cuffs, yeah. Excited to play with you guys next year at 40 Fest. Hopefully our paths will cross before that. Who knows? But if not, then I'll see you then. And having said that, would you like to go ahead and tell the audience who next week's guest is going to be on Punk Rock Talk?
Yeah, so coming out of Baltimore, get ready for Destructive Fucks next week on Punk Rock Talk.
Destructive Fucks!
Oh, I think I said Destructive Fucks. Destructive Fucks. I don't know. Yeah, but band from Baltimore, they'll be on Punk Rock Talk next week here on the live stream of Jason.
Yeah, make sure that you check them out. They are going to be added to our Spotify playlist, Rebellion Noise 2022, on Monday of next week to play us out. This is Police Brutality by Broken Cuffs. That's going to do it for this episode of. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having us, and thanks for everyone that joined in. Cheers.
Later.
Jason, you always show your baby on the live stream. I'm going to show you some of my babies, too.